right, so seems that we are live. Seems that we are live. Hello there and welcome. Welcome to this amazing session in the Africanovate series. My name is Jerry Kanyinebi and I am so excited to be a part of this. All right. A special thanks to Enabili Emmanuel for putting me through this process, for bringing me into this project and giving me the opportunity to share the knowledge I have, the insight I have in this session. I really want to appreciate all the speakers that have been speaking on the different amazing topics. We have those that have been speaking on tech, gender equality, and all that. And it's been really insightful sessions. And if you have not been watching the videos, both before this one and the ones after this now, please make sure you listen to the sessions. You watch the sessions, you gain it, possibly send questions via email to the organizers, and let's put our heads together and see how we can develop ourselves to get the solutions we need to these issues facing society. So I'm going to be talking about African youth development, all right, the challenges and how to overcome them. Okay, so this topic is a topic that is quite popular. Some persons think it is very common. All right, some persons think, oh yes, but the truth is, if a topic like this keeps coming up all the time, number one, it means that you don't have to see it in a negative way. Some persons say, oh, why do we always talk about this topic all the time? No, when topics like this keep coming up, it's not because it's not for a negative reason. In fact, it's a good sign. It's a sign that a lot of effort and a lot of information and a lot of knowledge is gradually coming into the scene as regards youth development, African youth development. It means that people, more and more persons are gradually developing interest in the African youth development. It means more and more people, there is new knowledge coming up, more and more people are getting interested, and there is a lot of work to be done. So whenever you come across a session like this for youths, like the Africanovate program that is being held, embrace it. Don't just say, oh, we know everything they are going to say, because trust me, hearing these things over and over again is going to help you position yourself properly for what is coming. All right. So African youth development, what are the challenges and how to overcome them? Before I continue, let me introduce myself. My name is Jerry Kanyinebi. I'm a brand designer, digital entrepreneur. My work cuts across designs, event branding, website design, social media management and all. I had the privilege of working with so many businesses and organizations over the last 5 years. I help businesses and organizations attract customers, using high quality graphics design and website design services. And I have done this for years, and I've had the opportunity to work with young people. The interesting thing about this is I can't go into my story right now because this is not about me. This is about Africanovate and the vision we intend to achieve. All right. But as an African youth who has been able to build his skill, build his career, build himself to some point, I think there are some things I'm going to be sharing in this session that would actually make sense to you, because I'm not just going to be sharing it from a theory point of view, but I'm going to be telling you the truth. I'm not here to mince words. People, those who know me, they know me very well. I don't mince words. I don't try to sound good or pet you. If something is meant to be the truth, I say it. Claim, because I know what I've experienced as a youth, in the country like Nigeria. All right, regardless of the challenges and issues, difficulties I faced over the years, being able to build myself to have certain results. So I think I really believe, I believe so much in the African youth. I believe so much in what they can do. I believe so much in the capacity they have. I've worked with so many young people. I've seen so many young people. I see young people every single day, and I know that we have a lot to offer. All right. Now, I understand that there are challenges facing us at this time. I understand there are issues facing us at this time, but there and then, all right, we can surmount this, and that's why I'm going to be sharing a little, with a little, very little time I have, a little insight on this. All right. So then, talking about the youths, all right, just a brief intro. These are things that we all know, but I feel it needs to come to our minds again. All right. So, who are the youths? Because we're talking about African development, and the truth is, the future of Africa is dependent on the youths. The youths. All right. The young people in the economy. Every nation, every country, what enables them to stand strong is the quality of development and growth experienced by their youths. It is the innovation, the creativity that is being contributed to the economy by the young population. Any country that does not have a growing quality developed young population is not going to last, because the young people are the ones that bear the energy, the strength, the creativity, the zeal, and what it requires to build an economy. All right. So the growth of every nation is measured by how well they are able to contribute, how well they are able to develop, to empower, and to deploy the contributions of these youth to every sector. All right. It is something. Oh, sorry, I wrote that twice. Pardon me. It is something that we really need to pay attention to in this time. I'm so happy, like I said, that platforms like this are being created to educate, all right, to inform the government, to bring to the attention of the people, and to educate the youth on how powerful they are and what they can contribute. However, all right, we understand if you are living in an African country, or if you are living in Nigeria where I am based, you will tend to understand that it's been a really challenging couple of years for the young people. All right, in terms of growth, in terms of access to opportunities, in terms of being able to have their civil rights. So many challenges have been coming up, which have been a great source of concern. It's been really challenging as a youth. There are so many things that could come up: police brutality, political instability, a lot of things, and this is affecting the growth of the youth. This is affecting the mindset of the youth. This is affecting the ability of the youth to contribute positively. And we're going to be talking about these things. But then there's an angle I would also like to come from. Okay, in as much as the youths, there's so many things going wrong. In as much as there are a lot of inconsistencies in the economy, in the country, certain policies not favorable. I want you to also understand that African youth development, the contribution of the youths to the transformation of the nation, to the transformation of the continent, is not just dependent on external forces. It is also very dependent on the internal forces. All right. And that's why in this place, I have to ask some of these questions, because a lot of people keep complaining. A lot of people, there's a lot of complaints going on. Oh, the youths are being kept aside. The youths are being sidelined. The youths are being all right, we're not giving enough opportunities and all that. But at the same time, being someone who has also had the opportunity to work with some of these bodies that are concerned with developing youths, and also had the opportunity to work with the youths themselves, there are so many things I've observed that have made me to understand that, look, if we want to transform the nation, if you want to transform the continent, if we really want to develop and provide solutions and build a nation where we have youths that are standing strong, the work is dependent on every single person, including the youths themselves. So here are some questions I would like us to ponder on as we go through this session. All right. So some questions I would like us to ponder on. All right. Are African youths really being neglected? Because, like I said, it's the statement that is really being made. African youths are not giving us opportunities and everything. But the question is, are they really being neglected? Now, these are questions that I can't provide full answers in this session, but I'm asking you this question so you can really think about it. Are African youths really being neglected? Of course, certain things that they want are not given to them. Of course, there's a certain level of neglect in some countries or in some economies. But the question we need to also ask is it really true 100%? All right, are African youths really stranded? Okay. Now, the reason why I'm asking these questions is to not just make us doubt the whole thing. Because there's been a great movement for youth development, youth engagement, youth involvement, and it's been really, really beautiful. But then there's always this message of passing, oh, the youths are not carried along, the youths. But then the truth is, are they really not carried along? The truth is, are they really neglected? And if they are really neglected, are they really stranded? Because what does it mean to be stranded as a person, as a young person? To be stranded is to be in a position where you don't have access to the things you need, position where you are stuck, position where you do not have you do not have the necessary empowerment, you do not have necessary opportunities to become who you are meant to be in order to contribute positively. A lot of youths are stranded right now, but the question is, are they really supposed to be stranded? Are they really supposed to be stranded? All right, because I observe one thing I've observed about life is that there are so many resources, so many things around. I have seen stories of people, all right, young people who have been able to go through. Now, one thing I really need to understand is the challenges are real, the issues are real. The problems being faced by in the Africa economy as regards youth involvement and youth development is real. But then, are we going to keep staying in the place of complaining rather than doing something about it? The next question is the government entirely responsible for youth development? All right. This is a question I also want us to answer because yes, the government has a responsibility because when it comes to building a nation, when it comes to contributing to the growth of the country, of the continent, the government across all sectors, across all bodies, across all nations, they have a responsibility towards every single person, including the young population. They have a responsibility to empower, they have a responsibility to give them everything they need. But the question now is the government entirely responsible for youth development? It's just like your parents, for example. Just an example, an analogy. It is the responsibility of your parents, the role of your parents to bring you into this world and to sponsor your education. They take care of you, they feed you, they give you your education and everything. Now, how are they giving you the education? They give you everything, they take you to the school, they put you in the school. Now, the truth is, there are some things that your parents will not do for you, right? Now, this might be an uncomfortable truth for some persons, but just follow me. There are some things that your parents will not do for you in school, all right? There are some things that your parents will not do for you in school. If they bring you into school, um, they will not be there to read books for you. They will not be there to write the exams for you. They will not be there to write the tests and attend classes. They are responsible for providing you with education, but you are also responsible for your molding process in terms of what has been provided for you. So they will not come and your parents will not read your books for you. Your parents they will not do that for you. It is up to you as a student. Now remember this is an example. It is up to you to now do what you are supposed to do. What am I trying to say? Everybody has a role to play. You as a youth watching this, you have a role to play. When it comes to youth development, when it comes to let's just remove the TH, when it comes to you development, when it comes to your development, because you can't just sit. It's not enough to just sit down, all right, at home, and say, "I'm stranded. I can't do anything. There's no job." We're going to be highlighting some of these challenges, all right. We are going to be highlighting some of these challenges. But it is not enough to sit down. The reason why I'm addressing here and doing this because I want you to be pondering. I want you to really, really examine your mindset. I want you to really think about this first before we go into backlashing, before we go into passion blames and all. You as a youth, you have a responsibility towards your growth. You have a responsibility. There are opportunities. There are so many opportunities out there. There are so many. There's a lot of access to knowledge for free out there. The truth is, certain systems, the world has put certain systems in place for your development. Now, of course, the government has the things that they need to do. But if you are in a country where the government is not doing what they are supposed to do, my question to you is, are you going to sit down fold your arms and do nothing because you're not being given. It is up to you to make a way. It's up to you to come up with a system that will enable you grow. All right. The next question is: are youths really ready for change? Now, okay, looking at what has been happening in some African countries, especially in Nigeria, during the election periods, during the okay, not just election periods, everything, social media and all. If you sit down to listen to some youth talk, if you go on Twitter, Instagram, if you go on Twitter, right, and hear some of the things some people say, you begin to ask yourself, are we really, really ready for this change that we're looking for? We want certain changes, we want certain economic development, we want certain opportunities for youth. But the truth is, I want you to be very honest with yourself. Are you really, really ready? If these changes start coming, if these opportunities start coming, are you really, really ready? Are you really, really prepared? Do you have the necessary skills? Do you have the necessary tools? Do you have the necessary knowledge? Do you have what is really, really needed? Are you really ready for that change that you're looking for? Or you want to keep complaining? These are questions I really want you to ask yourself. So now, what are the common challenges facing youth development? All right, I'm not going to be laying so much emphasis on this because one of my goals is to really, really talk some sense into the youths today, and I really hope I'm able to, by God's wisdom, say the things I want to say. So, what are the common challenges faced by youths today? In terms of youth development, lack of access to quality education. This is a challenge that is faced in the African continent right now. Quality education in terms of government owned bodies and everything. The truth is, we wish it could be better. It's better in some places, some parts, but if you observe, it seems that there is a lot of there's a lot that goes anywhere you see that there is high quality education. It means there is a lot that has gone in there. All right, and people who create platforms for education, they really, really want to make a change and really, really make it quality. But the truth is, the government, the bodies, the initiatives and the platform barrister and institutions required to make this happen in some places is not being done as it ought to. All right, so it still remains a challenge because going to the university, some of the universities, especially the public universities, even the general school curriculum, although it seems that some changes are gradually being introduced, but then the curriculum, understand is the quality of education doesn't just talk about the quality of the buildings, even though it is very, very important because of the ability to create a conducive learning environment. But then we're also talking about the quality of what is being taught, the quality of the lecturers teaching those courses, the quality of the resources and the materials. All right. Then some schools are still using some materials that are outdated, knowledge that is outdated, and these students have to read it in order to pass. Not even because what they are, because most of them, I've heard some tell me that, man, everything I learned in school was almost a waste because when I came out of school, I couldn't use it. The reason why they can't use it is because what they are being taught is not up to date. And there are certain things that need to be put in place for that. The government, education bodies, the lecture, every single person that is in charge of providing what is needed for these youths to develop themselves academically, they need to work on this. All right. The second thing is the high rate of unemployment. Unemployment is a really challenge everywhere, and it's a real challenge to African development because these youths want the opportunity to be put in systems, organizations, platforms, institutions, parastatals that enable them to learn, to grow, and contribute their skills, their abilities. All right. Socioeconomic marginalization, unsound economic policies, corrupt governments and exclusion, no ease of movement across continent. This final one is really a challenge because one thing about growth is your ability to travel, your ability to gain exposure, your ability to experience other cultures and put the exposure and put it together in coming up with solutions for your own country, for your own institution. But then it's not so easy. The boundaries that are being set when it comes to traveling, when it comes to youths moving into travel in intercountry and intercontinent, it's not so easy. And this is really, really a challenge that we are facing at this time. All right, the issue of the corrupt government, some policies, economic policies that are not sound, is really, really a challenge. But and this is really, really affecting. It's really, really affecting youth development. Okay, socioeconomic marginalization. It seems as if when you see a situation where some resources are for some people who have more influence, more connections, and more money to get them, we see that it's more like if you are not connected, if you don't have connections, if you don't have people in the country, you can't really go anywhere. You can't really gain anything. If you want a job now, you need to have somebody there. You want a placement, you need to just know somebody there. It has become a norm. Know who, know road, or know have somebody speaking for you. While that is good, at the same time, it's a big challenge. Because what about those youths that don't have anybody to speak for them? What about those youths that don't have people to give them access to opportunities? So it's really, really a challenge that I think the government, everyone needs to look at. Social certain policies. Some policies are not as favorable as they ought to be. All right. So then, however, all right, I would like us to focus on some internal challenges that affect the youths themselves. Those challenges I mentioned, yes, they are there, they are certain, it's really a challenge, and we could talk about it over and over again. And the truth is, the government has so much work to do. But then, while we are waiting for the necessary institutions, governments, and organizations to do what they are supposed to do, let's give some little attention to the youths themselves. Let's talk about the youths themselves. So let's talk about some of the issues that face the youths themselves. All right, some of the issues that face the youths themselves. Because the reason why I want to focus on this is, like I said, regardless of just the issues in terms of what is supposed to be done by government and everything, I think it's really, really important that we talk about the youth. So I really, really want to talk to the youth today. So now, what are the major challenges, the major internal challenges that is affecting the development of youths? Because even if government and private bodies such as Africanovate starts bringing in structures, they start bringing in uh, systems and initiatives in place to empower the youths, it will be a little or no results if these challenges I listed here are not handled. Because these challenges deal with the internal, it deals with the youth themselves, it deals with them. And at the same time, you are the one chasing them to embrace it. You know? So while we are clamoring for change and transformation, there's some things that need to be addressed. And the number one thing here is mental laziness. Mental laziness is the inability of these young people to put in their minds into their development, putting their minds into what they are working on, putting their minds into the vision they are pursuing. Mental laziness. Say people who are not ready to think, who are not ready to engage their creativity, who are not ready to engage their minds, who are not ready to expose themselves to the necessary knowledge that they need. You get what I'm saying? So it's a challenge because, like I said, youth development cuts across different aspects. And whatever solutions that are being provided by government or private organizations or anyone in terms of developing youth, if this mental laziness, I wish I could use one full webinar to talk about it. Because there are some of these people that are supposed to be producing, they are consuming more than they produce. These young people are supposed to be coming up with innovations, but they are not just there. And mental laziness is a product of certain things that over time, and it starts small, all right. Not being able to read books in school and everything. There's a lot that goes into it, and this is a major challenge right now because we are not having original thoughts. We are having difficulty in these people coming up with original ideas. We are having difficulty in these people putting in their minds to stretch their minds to acquire a skill to learn. You know, there's just this mental laziness, and it's a big, big problem. And it makes working with these young people very difficult because you cannot really engage them. Their minds are somewhere else. They are not able to effectively, all right? Of course, it's important that suitable environment, but even in environments that are suitable, where even in situations where the right environment have been created for these ones, it is still very, very difficult. Most of them, they cannot really bring their minds to be fully engaged in the process of growth and development, and it's a challenge. The second challenge now is this pessimistic disposition towards everything. Yeah. Nigeria is bad, Kenya is bad, Tanzania is bad, the government is this. Of course, okay, yes, there are negatives, but then you should not allow it influence your mind to the point that you stop seeing the positives, to the point that you stop seeing the opportunities right in front of you, because there are lots of opportunities staring at you. While you are complaining of low quality education, there are videos on YouTube. While you are complaining about, oh, I don't have what I need to learn this skill, they are every day. The last few weeks, I've been getting a lot of ads. Learn this skill for free. Learn that skill for free. Learn this skill at a cheap price. It keeps popping up every single day. Educational platforms are being created every single day. Oh, acquire a skill to make money. Oh, every now different things, because the truth is, even in the country that you are complaining, there are still people, young people, who are still making a change, who have used the disadvantages they face as a fuel to position themselves to start creating solutions. They've used it as a fuel to push themselves to say, okay, you know what? Maybe this country is not working out for me, things are hard. I'm going to push myself to study, to do what I can, to have good grades, graduate with good grades, so that I can be eligible for certain opportunities that will take me outside this country. And instead of complaining that, oh, okay, instead of complaining that, this course, this lecturer, there are still people, students, intelligent students who have found a way to navigate and pass the course, flying colors. Instead of being pessimistic about it, how about you meet them and tell them, oh, please, I need your help. What is about every single aspect, not just in education. You see, there is knowledge. Right now, we are in the information age. The knowledge industry is growing so rapidly. People are pumping in resources. People are pumping in knowledge, pumping inside into the knowledge economy right now. You have to benefit from it. No, am I right? The third thing is most of them are still held down by cultural barriers. This is some people who still say, where I come from, our tradition doesn't allow this. Our tradition doesn't allow women. Right? Yes, I think I have to mention it too, because I am also very passionate about women development also. Right? Cultural barriers. Women supposed to stay in the kitchen. Women are not supposed to go to school. Women are not supposed to hold certain positions, and it's a problem. It's a big problem right now in so many societies and so many communities. So the youth development cuts across every single gender, both male and female, because I have seen young women who were given opportunities. Some who were not even given opportunities, they were created. They forced their way in, they created opportunities, and they are doing amazing things right now in the world. This, but some of these women have not really had that opportunity. Some of them are not really opportune enough to have a way out. So these cultural barriers are still in various African communities. Whatever development you want to bring is difficult for the women to be involved in it, to be engaged in it, because of some traditions and everything. And this is something that we need to pay attention to. It is something we need to grow above these cultural barriers. We need to expose ourselves to knowledge. Different institutions, different bodies. I am so happy, and I believe that God is going to use Africanovate as a platform to really, really develop youths, to contribute to ensure that there is equality when it comes to gender policies and gender engagement. I believe that there's a lot of work that Mr. Emmanuel is doing behind the scenes to ensure that every single person, both male and female, every single person is carried along. than inconsistencies and contradictions. What do I mean by this? All right. A lot of these persons, young persons, don't really know what they want to do. So they are inconsistent. All right. You cannot really see the growth and develop. Growth is upwards. Growth is directional. Growth is not scattered. If it's scattered, growth is not scattered. Growth is directional. It has to be direction for there to be effective growth. But most persons are not growing properly, they are not developing properly because of inconsistencies. It is right, and based on this, there is a great need for mentorship. There is a great need. I forgot to put it in my slide. There is a great need for mentorship right now because most of these persons don't really you don't know what they want to do. You don't know what you want to do. Today you want to go into this business. In 2 years' time, you are here. So there is a lot of inconsistencies. There are contradictions. All right. You see youths who say, "Oh, I believe in this. I believe in this person. I believe in this government. I believe in this cause." Next few years, they are saying something else. So many contradictions. So many inconsistencies. All right. So many inconsistencies, and this is a major challenge because growth is directional. Growth is meant to be in a path. All right. Yes, at different points you grow in a path till you come to a point where you realize that okay, I think I need to evolve into another, and then your evolution process presents another path to you, and you follow that path. Right. Growth is systematic. All right. There are systems involved when it comes to growth, but then a lot of us young people don't understand this, and so much inconsistencies, so many contradictions. All right, you start a course, the willpower, the energy to continue to finish what you start. Many youths don't have it right now, and it's a huge challenge to youth development because I mean, how would you become when you don't finish? It is when you finish what you start that you become. When you start a process, that is what helps you to become. I don't know. I hope I'm making sense right now. So, it is important, all right, that you really, really pay attention to this because this is a real, real challenge. And I really, really hope I don't have so much time left. I want to quickly do so I could round on. I really, really hope that youths today can would become more consistent. And the key to being this is mentorship. You need to start having the right people around you who will tell you the truth, who will provide quality guidance for you so you could know the direction to take. So you will not be here today and there tomorrow. And also, it is important when we talk about contradictions. Right now, we are having young people who are not strong in values, young people who are not strong in moral values, young people who are not strong in convictions. And so you see one person say, "Oh, I stand for this conviction, these are my values," but then what they do in private, what you do in private, what you do somewhere is different. Tomorrow you are standing for this, tomorrow you are not standing for this. All right, you preach against moral decadence, but then some of the things you do in private shows that you are contributing to moral decadence. If my grammar is correct, contradictions, and it's a major problem right now. It's a major problem. You need to calm down, bring yourself to this point, and start asking yourself. And it is important oneness of mind. I don't have so much time. I wish I had time to the emphasis of this. Oneness of mind is very, very important when it comes to growth and development. You cannot afford to be contradicted. You cannot afford to have so many. You need to have a conviction. You need to have a set of values and standards that you are running after as a young person. It's very, very important. It's important that you are not moved, influenced negatively by anything. The next thing is not they are not interested in skill development. All right, not interested in skill development. This is really, really a challenge. Like I said, I'm someone who is into skill development, helping you to acquire certain skills. And trust me, I can really tell you, some of us youths are not interested. We just want to make money. And I begin to wonder, how do you think the money will just magically come if you do not provide a service or sell a product or offer a skill? How would it come? And that's why there's so many vices out there, so many wrong vices out there. People who are there are so many things I can't say it because it's an international platform, so I don't present us in a negative light. But we, if you're an African person, if you're a Nigerian, Ghanaian, you are an African person watching this, you know what I'm talking about. It is important that we become committed to skill development and deployment. But most of us are not ready. Most of the youths are not interested. So there has to be a shift in focus. I'm going to be talking about the solutions in the next slide. With little time I have, oh boy, time is running out. I really, really need us to pay attention to this. Skill development. All right, the next one, negatively influenced by social media. All these things I listed out, even the things I couldn't list out, they are topics topics on their own. Like social media right now, it's benefiting so many people, but at the same time, it is serving as a problem to so many people. Negative influence, certain trends, mindsets, ideologies, conversations, and everything happening right now. Boy, oh boy, boy, oh boy. It's a real challenge right now because young people are finding it difficult to differentiate between what is real and what is not. They are finding it difficult to differentiate between what is real and what is not. Negative influence. So, how do we, what are the solutions that I'm preferring? Quickly, just run through them. If the government hopefully will believe that this movement is going to influence them and get to them, all right. So these are the things. Now, I was able to. I have to give credit. I was able to go through some resources. I added to my own personal knowledge and some resources. I did some research. I was able to come up with this. All right. So African government should actively embrace and advocate for youth employment initiatives, all right, encompassing reforms in educational systems and curriculum. This proactive approach aims to equip youths with and young individuals with fundamental business skills and resources. So there is need for them to embrace youth employment initiatives. Even if as a government you cannot create all the initiatives, at least there are people who are willing, there are people who have that passion for youth, who want to create these initiatives. It would be awesome for the government to accept and embrace them and also work on engaging, creating certain reforms in the school system, the education system, the curriculum, the things they learn, the quality of knowledge they learn. It is important that the lecturers are reviewed. It is important that the knowledge is reviewed because this is going to equip the youth with the right knowledge, the right skills that they need. Because the school system can't give you one information and you go out there and you cannot access opportunities because the information you have is wrong. It's counterproductive. All right. There should also be intergenerational leadership dialogue with the view of ensuring that young people take over the leadership in African countries. This is really, really very, very important. Because right now it's as if the youths are not given the opportunity. But like I said, all right, it's a two-way thing. But then the youths are not really given the opportunity to serve in government. We still have the same old people over and over again, and it's really a problem. We want the government. We are calling on the government, right, to create because it's called intergenerational. All right, one generation is going. This time they have to provide mentorship and access points for the younger ones to come. Younger ones with more energy, more genuine interest in growing the country, in growing the continent. Leaders need to create an enabling environment for these young people to thrive. And I really hope that they will pay attention to this. All right. Government needs to also make sure that young people have more chances to grow and succeed. Right. Providing more jobs, rewards for creative ideas, encouraging innovation in the economy. Thankfully, there are some initiatives that are coming up right now, but then more work needs to be done. More and due to this corruption, I think the challenge right now in this is the corruption that is really eating deep into the system. So even when certain initiatives are created, those initiatives and platforms are used as an avenue for corruption. And it's a real problem. We really, really need to start doing things right. We really, really need to start doing things right. We are wounding ourselves. We are putting our own future at risk by not allowing our youths to express their creative ideas, by not allowing encouraging them to provide innovative ideas, by not giving them the jobs that they need. All right. And one thing too, they should also make sure that improve it. School, healthcare, farm places, everything needed. The government needs to do this and give more effort. Now, it's not just about starting. All right. Because one thing I've understood is we start, but we don't maintain. There is a poor maintenance culture both on the side of the people and the side of the government too. Because if you start an initiative, it is up to you to keep feeding it. But then we see situation where even when it is being fed, people siphon. People, there is a lot of work to be done. All right, there's a lot of work to be done, and I really, really hope that the government can give attention to this. Okay, the number of people in Africa is growing tremendously. There is need for quality education, healthcare. All right, there is need for recreation, people to relax their mind. Also, they have to make certain policies that will be easy for African talents to go out there, gain knowledge, and come back and cause transformation if they want to. There has to be an ease. Right now, it's as if it's difficult being a young person right now. Especially if you are a graduate, you've graduated. There is so much pressure on you from family, from loved ones, so many things. There is a lot going on right now. The youths are in that phase where they say, "Oh, this is adulthood." A lot of us have adults who staring at us right now. And we want there to be systems created to make this process easy for us. For the youths, now what are the solutions to the challenges? Alright? Because I said I approached it two ways. So what are the solutions to these challenges? Actively engage in brutal mindset transformation. Emphasis on the word brutal mindset transformation and strategic personal development. All right, you need to be brutal and say, wake up and say, I need to work on, I need to grow, I need to work on my mind, I need to develop myself. And one thing to understand is personal development is not random. People, oh God, people do randomized growth. It's not what works. Personal development requires strategy. You have to be strategic about your personal development. You have to know who you are, what you can do, what you would like to do. You have to understand what your vision is, what your goals, your strengths, your weaknesses, your giftings. You need to start shaping your life. You need to start finding the right mentors, joining the right communities. You need to start positioning yourself. Personal development is very, very, very strategic. It is very, very strategic. Very, very strategic. You need to engage in strategic personal development, and which is why you need to be a part of what Mr. Enebili Emmanuel is doing. You need to be a part of this Africanovate community. You need to be a part of the work that they are going to be doing in the coming months, because this initiative is going to be coming up with so many systems or initiatives that will position you and help you become the youth you are meant to be. You need to be a part of this. All right, breaking free from mental laziness. There are ways to go about this by reading books, by if you need to take a break off social media. So many of us, we are deep in complaints, but at the same time, deep in things that are unproductive to us. You need to take a break. You need to break free from mental laziness. You need to wake up and realize that, see, smell the coffee. There is still a lot of work for you to do, because even if the opportunities come, and there are so many disadvantages or other, what puts you as an advantage is when even your excellence and your competence cannot be denied. You can see that even in countries where there are racial things happening and everything, there are still Africans out there that are making a change, and the world cannot deny the change they are making because of how deep, solid, and powerful the quality of their work is. How deep, solid, and powerful the quality of their work status is, the quality of their knowledge, how deep and powerful it is. You see, grow to a point that they can't deny you. No matter how corrupt the platform is, no matter how there are disadvantages, they just can't deny that you are the person. All right? Stop being pessimistic about everything. I just have to put it out. Stop being pessimistic about everything. You must learn to work on your mind leadership. You must learn to work on your mind to be able to see opportunity in every challenge, to be able to see a positive in everything negative. Stop being pessimistic. Oh, I beg you. An opportunity comes for you to apply for a job or apply for a scholarship or a grant, or for you to say, I beg you, I cannot. They will only take those I want to take. They already have their slots. Come on, are you serious? God. An opportunity comes for you to attend an event that will help you. Say, these people, they are just looking for money. They are going to sell book in the end. See, mindset. Oh God, you need to wake up. Stop being pessimistic about everything. It is affecting you more than you know. It is affecting your mind more than you know. Right, maybe one day, one of these days, we'll have a session where we'll talk about the power of the mind and how it affects your growth and development and the quality of opportunities that come to you. Stop being pessimistic about everything. Yes, things are not going the way they are meant to go, but then, I mean, good things can still come. That is the only way. Instead of people just saying, I don't know what to do anymore, there is always a way out. There is always a way out. So, so we are building right now. We are doing everything we can to grow and develop and all that. Sorry about that. My time is up. You need to understand your mindset and your disposition towards life, your disposition towards growth, your disposition towards everything you do, your disposition towards society, towards every system put in place, even your disposition towards this program is going to determine how far you go. Stop being pessimistic. There's a lot that can happen in Africa through you. There's a lot that can happen in your family. There's a lot that can happen in your community through you. There are resources at your disposal. There are courses. All right. There are resources at your disposal. There are courses. There is knowledge everywhere. There are things you need for free that can help you position yourself to start. See, the thing is, most of us sometimes realize that when people are complaining that I don't have what, most times we are complaining. It seems that we want all the millions in the world for us to start implementing our ideas. It seems you cannot have it all at once. You need to start from somewhere. And the first way to start is to engage in brutal mindset transformation, to break free from mental laziness. By all means, if you must seek help, seek help. If it is prayers, pray. If you have to read books, break free from it. Your mind, stretch your mind. Dear youth, your mind is more powerful than you know. Stop being pessimistic about everything. All right. Now, talking about the African governments, to solutions for youth, make sure that they are improving things like schools, healthcare, information. This means quality education, like I said in the previous slide. So this final part is for the government, just towards the youths. That the government should ensure that every single system they've put in place for the smooth running, they should even put systems in place for smooth running and then maintain it. And then maintain it. And then ensure that it doesn't get corrupt. Corruption doesn't spoil it along the way. Because the youths deserve better. The youths deserve better. Also, some things I didn't mention here is join communities. Alright? Join communities. There are so many communities, growth programs, transformation programs online. You start using your data for the right thing. Start using your data for the right thing. Alright? Now, people keep saying go on YouTube. You think it's a joke. It's not a joke. Go on YouTube. There is a lot of powerful information there. If you're complaining that you don't have money to buy courses, it's on YouTube. I keep saying it. Go on YouTube. Join communities like this, Africanovate. Join foreign communities. Join foreign platforms like Yali. There are so many of them out there. Attend events. Attend programs. Build quality networks. Because one of the ways that we can effectively cause a change is when we start bringing our ideas together. when we start bringing our knowledge together, when we start bringing our creativity together, all right, when we start working together. Now, you also have to learn how to strategically connect with those who have gone ahead of you. I'm really, really sorry. There's so many things I didn't put in this slide that is just coming to me now, but it's all good. Pay attention to what I'm saying. Mentorship. Seek mentorship. There are persons who have been able to make it, who have been where you are today, gone through the same challenges you went through, face the same issues you faced, but then they've been able to make it and make it very well. You have to go under the shadow of these people and learn, study them, gain mentorship, build the right network, start putting yourself in the right friends, have the right friend. All this I'm saying is under mind development and strategic personal development. Have the right friends, have the right people around you. Listen to the right things. Be careful about what you see. That whole person, see that what see, this is the holy grail. Permit me to call it that, to personal development. You being strategic about what you see, what you hear, and what you see, what you listen to, and what you say. So what you are careful about what you are feeding your mind, and you're careful about what you are feeding your ears. You need to start building strategy. There are people in your community. Look at the comment section. Look at the people who registered for this program. There are people, young people. Look at the speakers here. All the speakers here. These are people who are strategic, who know what they are doing, who are making a difference regardless of how things are going. Connect with them. Learn from them. Connect with young people who are making a change. Build the right relationship. Submit to mentorship. That is how strategic personal development happens. That's what it means to be strategic. Don't just say, "Oh, I want to go. I'll read. I want to." No, read books. No, be strategic. Have the right people you are following. Have the right mentors. Have the right role models. Have the right inspiration. Have the right people inspiring you. It is very, very important. Very, very important at this time. So I really, really hope that in this time you've been able to learn with this very, very short time, because there's a lot to say. But I really hope that in this session you've been able to understand the importance of positioning yourself, the importance of doing what you need to do. I really, really believe in the African youth. I believe in what we can achieve. I believe that youth development is very, very possible and it's already happening. And my desire is that the government becomes fully involved. My desire is that the youths themselves become fully engaged, because, like I said, they can take you to the water, but they can't force you to drink. They can take you to school, but they can't force you to learn and have good grades. It is up to you to do what you can to grow. And I hope that you later on go through this over again and also pay attention to what the other speakers are saying, or what the other speakers have said, rather, if this is the last session. Pay attention to it and grow. Engage yourself. What we are just doing here is just give you introduction to what you need. I wish there was so much I could talk about here, but I believe that this has brought our attention to the fact that strategic development for youth is possible, that regardless of the challenges, it can still be overcome if the youths themselves do what they need to do. So thank you so much. You can connect with me via these channels. You can send me a mail, jerrykanyinebi01@gmail.com. You can connect with me, Jerry Kanyinebi, on LinkedIn and Facebook, and that's my handle on Instagram. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you, connecting with you, and having a conversation on how we can contribute to your growth and help you become the better version of yourself. Thank you so much, Enibili Emmanuel, and the whole Africanovate team for this opportunity. Special kudos to the team. You've been doing an amazing job. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I cannot wait to see the value that you will create. I can't wait to see what you are going